Son, what was the name of that park your friend wanted to take you to again? Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I haven't gotten a chance to say this in a while. And now for something completely different. We're taking a look at from the Jurassic Park 93 Classic line. This is Denis Nedry, the Track and Chase pack. This is apparently a Target exclusive, and from what I understand, and please feel free to correct me in the comments, um, these are reissues of classic Jurassic Park toys from 1993. Now, I gotta say, I'm a little confused because I wasn't buying toys then, but I did see these figures, and I remember them being about 4 to 4.5 inches, all with action gimmicks, spring-loaded net launchers, that sort of stuff. But they were 5 points of articulation figures that were actually, in some cases, pre-posed. I don't know if there's been some retooling to these. Obviously, there's been retooling to the dinosaur to include a app gimmick, but yeah, I'm just surprised. And I had my eyes on like the Ian Malcolm set, but the reason I jumped on this one was number one, there was a Target sale, and number two, it's Dennis Nedry looking like he's a recent graduate of gun school. I mean, we'll take a closer look at the figure in a second, but yeah, I was just floored by how Nedry, Dennis Nedry, Newman, uh, they made him up, and I'm curious if that's how the original figure looked. But as I said at the beginning, this is a Target. I got this from Target.com, and as I'm pretty sure it's a Target exclusive set, and it retails for between $25 and $30. But I got mine on sale, so I got it for about 20 or so after tax. And I also have a red card, so there's a little bit of discount there. So what we're going to do right now is we will pause and come back and take a look at the dinosaur. Okay, now growing up, when I was little, our dinosaurs were just made of like solid rubbery plastic, non-articulated for the most part, except for say Dinobots or something. But how times have changed. And they were also like one color. Now we have these dinosaurs that are supposed to look like how they were alleged to look like back then, but now we know that that's different. Like here we have a velociraptor, and apparently they look more like a bird than a lizard. So there's that. But this is a very simple version of the velociraptor. Like I said, there is some retooling because if you come over on the side here and with your thumbnail, you can pull up this little um, DNA uh, tablet thing. It doesn't remove, it's attached. But if you have like I think the Jurassic Park app or something, you scan it, you'll get this in the app, and you'll get some like information about it. So it's educational and fun to play with. Uh, the tail can rotate. That's something I actually just discovered here. But in doing so, you do break up the paint, which I don't know if that's accurate. I mean, I don't know if that's accurate to when we thought velociraptors look like this, I should say. But the legs are posable, but I do notice that they have there's static positions that if you want to have them in, they have to stay in if you want it to stand. Like to have it stand up a little, you have to have it posed like this. Like this leg right here, left leg this way, right leg this way. Um, well, I guess it would just be the left leg, has to be forward from the right leg. The arms swivel up and down. That's it. No extra articulation. Again, this is a toy from the 90s. I mean, just having this was a lot. Now, here's something I don't know if this is accurate to the toy or mine has an issue, but there's a split here down the seam. There's like a seam here of the figure. And part of me wants to say that that's there to be able to have the head articulate like it does on that neck joint. Also, the mouth can't open. You have a painted mouth for the most part. Um, But yeah, I mean, if you have this set, or if you have another set where this Velociraptor, because I'm guaranteeing you, this is not the only set that comes with this dinosaur. Do let me know if mine's like busted or anything. Unfortunately, I think it's past the point I can return it, and it really doesn't bother me. But I'm just curious. No paint on the feet, although there is some speckling there in the mold of the skin. I mean, this is what the skin is molded in, and then the brown and red is painted on top. So it's a fun little dinosaur. I mean, it's an accessory to the set, and you can have some fun with it. I know kids who are into dinosaurs would probably enjoy that. So what we'll do now is we'll pause, and now we'll take a look at the motorcycle. Okay, here's the motorcycle. Now, I should mention that outside of the Velociraptor, which can be seen from the packaging, it's a closed box. All of the accessories are actually motorcycle, Nedry, his backpack. Um, these attachments here actually come separate. You have to pop them on, and the missile are all wrapped in paper. Nice colored paper pouches, not tissue paper. So they got that on Hasbro. Also, one thing I find very interesting, and I'm going to mention this to my sister, is the box was actually glued shut. There was no tape, no anything. It's like there's no way to really close it again. I had to pull it open from the flap, and that's actually sort of like how she gets some of her Barbie accessories. So I wonder if it's just a Mattel thing. Now, as I mentioned, these accessories come separate. You have to pop them on. The grabber claw here can extend and retract, and also there is an opening and closing gimmick, but keep in mind this is just plastic. You're flexing plastic, so the more you do it, the more you'll stress it. And of course, it does swivel in the holder there. So I thought this might launch too, like this was actually a missile holder, and then it would launch from the missile launcher here, but not that's not the case. Motorcycle does have a kickstand. You can just flip that up. Let's see if I could, just like so. Now, the missile launcher, the missile surprisingly does fire. That is nice. So here, let me just pull it back here. And again, this is not Hasbro, so you can actually get some distance with it. So that is nice. Uh, surprise! I mean, it comes out the back. I don't know if that's accurate to the vintage toy, but I do find it kind of cool that they do have working missiles nowadays. That was something for a while that they couldn't do it, then they could do it, and you know, and it does rotate. It does actually, if it kind of locks into certain positions, but this is where you would have to keep it, you know, firing upward. There's really no way to get it like that. It'll fire straight, but that's like you're halving it between points. Like it's either down there or up there. And if you notice, this is like more parallel, so it kind of makes sense that it would be angled upward a little. So, and that's how it is on the packaging. So, yeah, so not bad. It's a fun little accessory. Oh, I just uh, triggered the missile again, my bad. But you can see how it does, fire nicely. So, that's about it for the motorcycle. Now we're going to come in and take a look at the star of the show, at least in my opinion, Denis. Okay, so here's Nedry. And like I said, this is the reason why I bought the set. I mean, this figure, oh my God. I mean, first of all, that's a great likeness to Wayne Knight, the actor who played Dennis Nedry, Newman, and stuff like that. But he looks way too happy for the character in the movie, for Newman. This actually looks more like the character he played on Third Rock from the Sun, the boyfriend to the alien he was the cop. But also, I mean, if you're familiar with Nedry, this is way more muscles than he had, and he's quite svelte now. But yeah, so you got the universal joint here at the shoulder, bicep swivel, single joint at the elbow. This is an articulated figure for 1993. This is pretty much close to how GI Joes were. Is there a waist swivel? There's no waist articulation, so that's missing. And instead of the key joint that was used on a lot of articulated figures, they have like a universal joint here. So when you spread the legs, you do get that gaping area there. Single joint bend at the knee, and you have a swivel at the knee. Nothing below that, but that's how it was. Um, Dennis does have an accessory here, a flamethrower backpack that you basically clip it on and get the mask part over his face. Little fiddly, I'll admit, but then it clips onto the forearm and goes into the hand. So that's kind of cool right there. And I mean, unfortunately, with the plastic tubing here, it does limit the arm. Uh, but I mean, it is facing forward, so there is that. Now, I'm just going to remove this just so we can take a look at Nedry on his motorcycle. Let's go ahead and bring it in. There, it does fit. Can just position the arms like so. There are footrests. Uh, you can just clip the hand on. You get one, you get the other. Uh, there we go. Oh, there we go. And there we go. And you bring the feet up like so. And there you have Nedry on the motorcycle. I mean, you can ride it. Not bad. I mean, let's see. Actually, if I rotate the boot like that, will that help make it a little more like his butt isn't in the air? That's basically what I'm trying to do. Get the bend the knees more, but I mean, I'm sure if you have time to fiddle with it, you can get it a little more uh, believable, or there we go. Maybe if I do it like that, extend. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Extend the arms out a little. That helps. There you go. That's nice. That's nice. So yeah, I mean, all in all, it's a fun set. So how about we pause and we come back with my final thoughts. All in all, this is a fun set. I'll admit I'm not the biggest Jurassic Park fan. Um, I don't see myself getting any of the other sets from this, but just for the fact to have a Dennis Nedry figure that looks like this, and of course, the motorcycle, I am a bit of a sucker for a motorcycle. If there's one big complaint that I have, it's the fact that this isn't really the dinosaur associated with Dennis Nedry. I think it was a Dimetrodon or something, the one that spit poison at him. But maybe it was a price issue to include a dinosaur with a fin. But other than that, and maybe having like a string instead of solid plastic rubber hose for the flamethrower, just to allow for better articulation. Because I mean, the whole thing is like a soft plastic, and I just noticed now that the barrel of the flamethrower is starting to warp a little. But really, I mean, that's about it. I mean, this is a fun set. Definitely worth the pickup. Get it on sale, even better. But as I said in the beginning, it is a Target exclusive, so there's that. But all in all, it gets a thumbs up from me. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. While I will always appreciate the views, your likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithm that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, If you can't afford the dollar a month or $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous Sunday. And that Sunday you've been supplying me for over 10 years. Man, that's one big Sunday. But yeah, that's about it, folks. Once again, for Dennis Nedry, the Velociraptor and the Track and Chase pack, we will see you next time.